Hello and welcome to this episode of my tutorial video series. The subject of this video is financial management and the topic is capital structure and farm value. And that topic under discussion is net income approach to capital structure and farm value. The net income approach postulates that as cost of equity, that is RE, and cost of debt, that is RD, remains same, increase in DE ratio, that is debt equity ratio, decreases WACC, that is weighted average cost of capital, and increases farm value. This means the farm's cost of equity and cost of debt are remaining unchanged. If the farm increases the proportion of debt in the capital structure, then that will result in decreased weighted average cost of capital and increased farm value. Now this postulation is based on certain assumptions. What are the assumptions? Number one, no income tax. There is no corporate tax or personal income tax in the economy. Number two, 100% dividend payout ratio. DP ratio means dividend payout ratio. 100% DP ratio. That means retention percentage is zero. The whole profit of the farm is being distributed among the equity shareholders in the form of dividend. Number three, subjective probability distribution of operating income is same for all investors. Now, what is subjective probability distribution? This means this is not objective distribution. The distribution is subjective. That is, opinions are formed by the investors on the basis of past experience and past information. And the subjective probability as regards the operating income is same for all the investors. Number four, the operating income is expected to remain same over time. That means the operating income is not expected to rise or fall during a certain time period. Number five, farm can change capital structure with ease without incurring transaction costs. That means the farms can alter the D ratio, that is the debt equity ratio, almost instantaneously without incurring any transaction cost, that is for acquiring either equity capital or debt capital, right? So on the basis of these assumptions, this postulation is made. Now we shall take a numerical example to see what the postulations lead us to. Okay, so I am erasing some parts so that I can proceed with the numerical example. We will take two farms. One is unlevered farm, that is there is no debt capital in the capital structure of the farm, and the other one is levered farm, that is the farm's capital structure consists of equity capital as well as debt capital. Correct? And we shall consider same operating income and same cost of equity and cost of debt for both the farms, that is the unlevered farm and the levered farm. Right? So I am erasing some parts so that I can proceed further. So, say this is, first one is unlevered farm, and the another is levered farm. Both the farms have same operating income, that is same EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. EBIT or operating income. Say 100,000 for both the firms. Less interest on debt. Since this is an unlevered firm, the firm has no debt, so there is no question of interest on debt. And the levered firm is paying interest of 30,000. Correct? Therefore, EBT, that is earnings before tax, is also called equity earnings. $100,000 minus 0, that is 100,000, and here 100,000 minus 30,000, that is 70,000. Cost of equity, that is RE, is 10% for both the firms. Therefore, the market value of equity, here it is 100,000 by 10%, and here it is 70,000 divided by 10%. Market value of equity is equal to equity earnings divided by cost of equity. So this comes to 10 lakh and this is 7 lakh. Okay, market value equity is 1,000,000 for unlevered firm and 700,000 for levered firm. Next, cost of debt, that is RD. Unlevered firm has no debt in its capital structure, so there is no cost of debt. And the cost of debt of the levered firm is 6%. Therefore, market value of debt, this firm has no debt, no market value of debt, and the levered firm's market value of debt is interest paid divided by cost of debt, that is 30,000 divided by 6%. So 30,000 by 6% comes to 5 lakh, 500,000. 500,000. Therefore, market value of firm, is the sum of market value of equity and market value of debt. So here this is 10 lakh and here it is 12 lakh. So we can see that market value of the levered farm is more than market value of the unlevered farm. Now we calculate WACC, weighted average cost of capital, that is equal to RE into E by D plus E plus RD into D by D plus E. This is weighted average cost of capital. Now this unlevered farm has no debt. It has only equity capital. So the farm is incurring only cost of equity as cost of capital. So in case of unlevered farm, the weighted average cost of capital is equal to cost of equity, that is 10%. Farm has no cost of debt. And here this is 7 divided by 12 into, that is cost of equity, RE into E by D plus E. E is 7 lakh and D is 5 lakh. The ratio is 7:5, as 7 plus 5 is 12, correct, into what is the cost of equity? 10%, plus 5 lakh by 12 lakh, that is 5 by 12, into what is cost of equity? 6%. Sorry, cost of debt. Right? RE into E by D plus E is this one, and RD into D by D plus E is this one, this part. Correct? E by D plus E is equal to 7 lakh divided by 12 lakh, that is 7 by 12. And D by D plus E is equal to 5 lakh divided by 12 lakh, that is 5 by 12. So let us see what they come to. 7 divided by 12, 0.58. 0.58 into 0.10, 10% means 0.10, plus 5 by 12, it comes to 0.416, 0.416 into 0.06, 6% means 0.06. So this is 0.058 plus 0.416 into 0.06. 0.416 into 0.06. That comes to 0.024. 0.02249. Let us take it 0.025 because it is 0.02496. So we have taken 0.025. Correct? So this is 0.058 plus 0.025. It comes to 0.058 plus 0.025. It comes to 8.33%. Now comparing this, the weighted average cost of capital of these two firms, it is 10% and here it is 8.33%. So we have seen operating income or EBIT remains same for both the firms, cost of equity same, and unlevered firm has no debt and levered firm has a debt. That means the D ratio is increasing from unlevered firm to levered firm. As we move from unlevered firm to levered firm, D ratio increases. And as the D ratio increases, we see that market value of the firm is more. That is, with increase in D ratio, cost of equity and cost of debt remaining unchanged, the market value of the firm increases, and at the same time the WACC, weighted average cost of capital, falls. WACC falls and market value of the firm increases. This is the postulation of net income approach. Now we can diagrammatically represent this postulation. So I have to erase these assumptions. Okay, I am erasing the assumptions so that I can make the diagrammatic representation of the postulation. In this diagram, we are measuring D ratio on x-axis and cost of equity, weighted average cost of capital RA, and cost of debt RD on y-axis. On x-axis we measure D ratio, debt equity ratio, and on the y-axis we measure cost of equity, that is RE, weighted average cost of capital, that is RA, and cost of debt, that is RD. Now since we have considered cost of equity and cost of debt to remain constant, we are taking this as RE this as RD. As we all know, cost of equity is always more than cost of debt. So the cost of equity line, the horizontal line parallel to x-axis, lies above the cost of debt line, which is also a horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis, because both of them are constant and RE is more than RD. Correct? Now in this scenario, RA starts from the intersection of RE and y-axis, and RA will come down like this. At this point there is no debt, debt is 0 because debt equity ratio is 0. E cannot be 0 because denominator cannot be 0, so here D is 0. So whole is cost of equity. So RA, that is what weighted average cost of capital, is equal to RE, as we have seen in case of this unlevered firm. And WACC is equal to cost of equity at this point. Now, as the debt equity ratio is increasing, we see weighted average cost of capital is falling. Now, why this is happening? As the debt equity ratio is increasing, the impact of debt, that is the total weight of debt, is influencing the weighted average cost of capital to come down. Cost of debt is lower than cost of equity, and so if the weight of debt is more in the capital structure, then certainly the weighted average cost of capital will come down. So this will be the weighted average cost of capital. So as debt equity ratio increases, weighted average cost of capital falls. So DE increases, WACC coming down, DE increases, farm value increases. Correct? Yeah. So this is all about net income approach to capital structure and farm value. The net income approach states that when the debt equity ratio increases while cost of equity and cost of debt remain unchanged, the weighted average cost of capital falls and the market value increases. We have taken a numerical example consisting of two firms. One is unlevered firm and the other is levered firm. Both of the firms have same EBIT, earnings before interest and tax, that is operating income of 100,000. The levered firm has an obligatory interest payment of 30,000. The equity earnings or EBT, earning before tax, that is earnings after payment of interest, 100,000 for unlevered firm and 70,000 for levered firm. Cost of equity is 10% for both the firms. So market value of equity is equal to equity earnings divided by cost of equity, that is 100,000 by 10%, that is 10 lakh. And for levered firm it is 70,000 by cost of equity, 70,000 by 10%, that is 7 lakh. Now cost of debt, unlevered firm has no debt, so there is no cost of debt. As a levered firm's cost of debt is 6%. Therefore market value of debt, unlevered firm has no market value of debt. As the levered firm's market value of debt is interest divided by cost of debt, that is 5 lakh. So market value of the firm is market value of equity plus market value of debt. Since unlevered firm has no market value of debt, so its market value of equity becomes market value of the firm, that is 10 lakh. And for the levered firm, the market value of the firm is equal to market value of equity 7 lakh plus market value of debt, that is 5 lakh. So it comes to 12 lakh. So we see that the market value of the levered firm is more than the market value of the unlevered firm. Now we compute weighted average cost of capital, WACC, with this formula: RE into E by D plus E, that is cost of equity multiplied by total equity divided by total capital, D plus E is total capital, plus RD, that is cost of debt, multiplied by amount of debt by total capital. The unlevered firm has no debt, so its weighted average cost of capital is exactly equal to its cost of equity, that is 10%, and the WACC of the levered form is 7 by 12, that is 7 lakh by 12 lakh E divided by D plus E, that is 7 lakh by 12 lakh, that is 7 by 12 into cost of equity 10% plus this part RD into D by D plus E. Now D by D plus E is 5 by 12 because date is 5 lakh and market value is 12 lakh. So 5 lakh by 12 lakh is 5 by 12 into cost of debt 6%. So it comes to 7 by 12 into 10% equals to 0.58 into 0.10 plus 5 by 12 is 0.416. So 0.416 into 0.06. 6% is 0.06. So it becomes 0.058 plus 0.025, that is 8.33%. So weighted average cost of capital of the levered firm is less than the weighted average cost of capital of the unlevered firm. Now this is the diagrammatic representation of relationship between debt equity ratio and weighted average cost of capital and RE and RD, cost of equity and cost of debt. We have considered constant cost of equity, that is RD, and constant cost of debt, that is RD. On the x-axis we have taken debt equity ratio, and on the y-axis we have taken cost of equity, weighted average cost of capital and cost of debt. Now RE is always greater than RD, that is cost of equity is always more than cost of debt. So cost of equity starts from higher intercept of a y-axis and cost of debt RD lies below that. Correct? Both the horizontal straight line. Why? Because there is no change in cost of equity or cost of debt. And we see RA, which is weighted average cost of capital, is coming down. It is coming down towards RD, cost of debt, as debt equity ratio of the firm is increased. That is, proportion of debt in the capital structure of the firm is increased. The weighted average cost of capital comes down. Why this happens? This happens due to more weight of debt related to equity in the capital structure. Since cost of debt is lower than cost of equity, more debt in the capital structure will bring down the weighted average cost of capital, WACC, that is RA. So RA is coming down. So when debt equity ratio increases, WACC falls. When debt equity ratio increases, firm value increases. Correct? Yeah. So this is all about net income approach to capital structure and firm value. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please do send your suggestions, your comments, your queries, etc. We shall be glad to see your comments. Correct? And thank you for watching this video. Goodbye and stay well.